Welcome to the Chef of X podcast.
Well, in this case, I actually want to jump straight to where we left off, which is that you were saying the first time you got filmed was for the Halal Guys. You work with the Halal Guys in Davis, Young Davy, and but you moved from New York.
Yeah, all right. So that's the story.
And I want to strap in for this story because
it's a very interesting story of the American dream, I guess. I'm living it.
Mm-hmm.
So long story, but not very short.
Yeah.
Came to the U.S. the first time when I was 14 for 1 month.
Where are you coming from?
From Egypt. I'm Egyptian.
Wow.
Came here when I was 14. My uncle was here. He was a real estate agent. He had money, right? Like he had some money. He did me an invitation. I came here. He used to have a nice house in Florida. He had some sports car, Mercedes, jacuzzi, big pool, shit like that, right?
Yeah.
I'm from Egypt, right? It's a third world country. We poor and broke.
Yeah.
All the year long, you know? And
all year long. That's an interesting expression.
Yeah, you know, it's like
poor and broke all the year long.
Here people get rich when they do their taxes. When they get their tax return, you know, like they get a couple thousands. Over there, no, it's like we struggle with money. My family struggled with money all their life, you know. And my uncle was kind of rich because he came here like 30 years ago. Yeah. And Egypt is a third world country. Here's the economy is way better. So you make it, you know. If you work hard enough, you make it. He's a very hard worker. Anyways, I come to the U.S. He took me to Disneyland. He buy me clothes. It's like a whole new world, right?
Right.
And it's like, wow, cars, pool, meat every day. What the fuck?
Meat every day.
Yeah, because their meat is very expensive. It is very expensive. So we used to eat like rice and beans and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Rice, beans, eggs, those cheap stuff. Yeah. But meat is expensive thing. So we don't eat it every day, like once a month maybe. So anyways, I come here for a month. He was trying to do good for our family. You know, I was the young one. So it's like, I was kind of lucky, right?
Yeah.
I go back. The recession happens. He loses all of his money. He get a divorce. Everything is bad for him. And you just file for bankruptcy, right?
Wow.
So just things turn around.
You
know? Anyways, I go there from 14 to 18. I still want to live that kind of life.
You mean go back to Egypt from 14 to 18?
Yeah, I went back to Egypt. So I just stayed for 1 month in the U.S. and I went back, right? I just came here as a tourist, right? But anyways, I go back and I keep watching movies, you know. I was like, and it's always in my head, I want to live this kind of life. I want to have those cars, big houses, American dream. Yeah. Right? The American dream. And anyways, when I was 18, I went to law school. Right after.
Is that young? Is that pretty young? Is that the normal age?
This
for
is
Egypt?
normal, yeah. This is normal, yeah. You graduate high school when you were like 17, 18.
Yeah.
And then you go to college.
And for college, you can go straight to law school.
Yeah. There's no community kind of thing.
Yeah. And also, I think you have to have an undergrad degree before they accept you here.
No, over there is like from high school to college right away.
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't like it. It wasn't my thing. It was so crowded. I went there for like a whole month. I was like, this is not my thing. It's just not my thing. I just buy the books and just like I never open it. You know, it's like.
And by the way, so in Egypt, I'm guessing similar to America, lawyers and doctors are things that parents encourage their kids to pursue.
Yes. In like, Egypt, top thing is medical field.
Medical,
right?
Yeah.
Doctor, pharmacist, and then engineering, and then accounting, and then teaching, like being a teacher, and then law.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So law actually isn't as prestigious there as it is here.
Yes and no. Yes, if you're very successful, and no, because a lot of people can get into it, right? So the way it works in Egypt, you go to colleges based on your GPA, right? I didn't do good in school, right? So again, top field is medical field. So if you get, let's say by percentage, right? If you get 99.9% and above, like 100%, you go to the medical field, right?
Yeah.
From like 80 to 90, that's engineering. From like 70 to 80, that's accounting. And
so it's really not about choosing your field.
No,
it's just if you qualify. Whatever you qualify for, that's the field you
your
get.
high school GPA kind of thing. So I never did go to school. You know what's the funny part? I cheated. And my grades were bad. I cheated. Yeah. I used to talk a lot since I was young, right? And my best friend was right next to me, right?
Yeah.
So what I used to do is I used to call the instructor and just distract him. Just talk about any shit. Just talk about stuff. So he can pull up his phone and get the answers, right?
Yeah.
This dumbass, you know?
Yeah, he got the wrong answers. Huh?
Yeah, I guess. But anyways, I go to law school. It's not my thing. I was like, you know what? I just want to go there. Yeah. So I give it a chance. I was like, I'm just going to go there. I called my uncle. I was like, hey, what about if you book me a ticket and I go there and just start my journey? He was like, hey, dude, it's not the same. I don't have money. I cannot take care of you.
Because by the time you called them,
I was 2013.
Financial
First time was 2009. I was 14, and then 2013, right?
Yeah.
And I haven't seen him since, right? Just phone calls every once in a while.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I was like, hey, can you book me a ticket and like take care of me like the first month or something? It's like it's not the same. It's very hard. It's not as you think. It's not like the movies. It is something else. I was like, it's like I don't want to live here anymore, honestly. I don't see a future for myself. Just let me risk it. Like, let me gamble on it. You know, what's the worst thing going to happen? Okay, it didn't work out. I'm going to go back, you know?
Yeah. And you weren't in the medical field to begin with. So.
Yeah. And I was, I didn't want to become a lawyer. It just wasn't my thing. I hate school, honestly. I won't lie. School is not my thing. Anyways, I come here. He booked me a ticket. I come here. He paid the first month. He rented a basement for me. It was me and someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And he paid the first month. He paid the deposit, right? And my brother gave me $100 or $200. That's a lot for us. Because $1 equals 20 Egyptian pounds.
Wow.
Right? So $200, that's a lot, right? Anyways. And my uncle gave me some food in the fridge, and he's like, "You're on your own," kind of thing. Like, go find a job, which I'm so thankful that he did that. I was like, okay. I had a phone, but I didn't have a SIM card. And New York is like, there's the subway is like everywhere, right? Take you from A to Z, like anywhere you want to go. But I had no idea how it works, and I was like, let me just go look for a job, right?
Yeah.
Mind you, I didn't speak English.
Mm.
I knew the basic English of hi, how are you? Yes, no, thank you. Smile and nod your head. that's the only thing that I knew, you know. And anyways, the only thing I know about New York is Times Square, right?
Yeah.
So I walk and I ask people, train. And they point, right? I go to the train. The line says Times Square. It was a 7 train. I figured it out. It wasn't that dumb, you know. Figured out how to get a subway card from the $100 that my brother gave me. Get some change, get a subway card, go to Times Square. The station says Times Square. Get off the train and just walk outside. And I was like, oh my god, the big screens. You know, like we poor. You know, like I never seen such a thing. You know.
Yeah, and I haven't seen it, by the way. I've never been.
Yeah,
to New York,
it is amazing. It was so fascinating for me. You know, I was like, wow. You know, I stand there for like literally like 5-10 minutes just staring at it, you know, staring at big screens.
Yeah.
And having all those dreams, you know. I was like, oh, I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be this and that, you know. Yeah. But anyways, I take my walk, get tired. And I was like, okay, it's time to go home. I have no fucking idea how I'm going to go back. I don't have my uncle's number. Right. Well, I had his number, but my phone doesn't have a SIM card.
Mm.
And I didn't know, like, I didn't know what to do. So I was like, you know what? Let me figure it out. I had the address on a paper, right, in my wallet. And I just was keep asking people, right? Man, don't ask people for directions. I went everywhere. You know? I literally, so from Times Square to where I live in New York, it's like 1 hour by the train, right? Maximum.
Yeah.
1 hour. It literally took me like 8 hours to go back home. Just keep taking trains back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Keep asking people for like 8 hours, you know. But anyway, I get there. That's like the beginning. And then my uncle was like, "Hey, dude, it's been 2 weeks already. You haven't got a job. Go find a job." Yeah. I was like, "Okay, my English is like basic. What you want me to do?" He was like, "Let me drop you off in a street, like a neighborhood, like a Arab neighborhood, right? They have like Arab restaurants. They speak Arabic, like half Arabic, half English. You can learn a little bit there. Yeah. They won't pay you very good because you don't have any experience, but just suck it up. Just go there." Yeah. So he used to drop me off there, and then I figured out how to get there by the train. And I was like 2-3 blocks of Arabic restaurants, right? Yeah. So I used to go to the same restaurants over and over every single day, asking them for a job, you know, till I found one. You know, I found one. It was $5 an hour. Back in the day, minimum wage was $8 an hour. Yeah. I used to work from 12 p.m. to 2 a.m. So like 14 hours a day, 6 days a week, and around $350. Yeah. That's how much money I used to make. Is it coming? What up? Yeah. So, my Lord. Got your nap? Yes. Can you put some water here, man?
I got water right here. Thank you.
Yeah. Can I get some?
Yeah. No, I'm good.
So, anyways, I got this job at a restaurant, right? Yeah. It was a shitty restaurant, small restaurant. I was like the waiter, clean the bathroom, go prep some salads. It was like a one-man band kind of thing, you know. I was like answer the phone, cash people out, do the deliveries. I was like doing everything, you know. It was a small restaurant, but I learned, you know. The funny story is I never had such a job before. I actually never been to a restaurant, only like once or twice in my life. Because over there it's way cheaper to cook at home. Only people who have money go to fancy restaurants or go to like fast food restaurants, you know. Right. Yeah. So that was like a whole new world. Like
just the restaurant. Was
I don't know what is going on. I never had like such a job before. Yeah. So, anyways,
you need some water, chef?
Oh no, I'm good. Thanks, man.
Can I dig into some of that pizza?
100. Yeah, man. To have the rest of it, but at your own risk.
It's not that
bad. This is like the most basic pizza you can buy.
Doesn't look like that.
I don't know what it is, man. They actually have that categorized under their specialty pizzas. This is their so it is pizza? Something. It's something. I mean, I think they drizzle some olive oil over it.
Wow, some olive oil, man.
Fancy stuff. Italian,
some hot
real
sauce,
Italian,
some Tabasco. Yeah, shouts out to Scenarios. There we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So that's a scenario. It's a good pizza. Yeah.
It's a good pizza. Just ate, man. I'm trying to be healthy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's actually not bad. And it's a big pizza, too. That's why I got it.
It's good.
I said I'd rather get sized than have the best of the best because at this point, we're in a quarantine right now.
Wow. That pizza hit home. I'm going to microwave the next one, but...
Yeah, enjoy it, man.
Thank you.
No problem. Anyhow, you were in Egypt. You came to the United States.
Yes.
You didn't speak English. Finally, you found a job for $5 an hour in New York City.
In New York, yeah.
And it was at a restaurant, and you were so Egyptian at the time.
Yes.
You weren't even used to restaurants.
At all.
You said, man, why do people
never been to a restaurant as a
damn, do people even go out? Rich people go to restaurants.
In Egypt, yeah, in Egypt. So
in New York, they paid you $5.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
they worked him because he didn't speak English, and they knew they knew
they
he
were
was
Arabs too. I know. Back in the days.
Well, that's honestly, New York is like the hub of a lot of those dark capitalist ideas where you got to fuck somebody over to win because it's too competitive out there.
It is.
People are living on top of each other. Ruthless. It's the most ruthless place in the country, arguably.
You're from the same race, too.
Yeah.
Same race. But anyhow, man. How everything changed, right? So anyway, I got the job as a waiter. I was like, waiter. Great.
But you did more than waiting.
Yes. But what I did the same night, they were like, hey, you got the job. I was so fucking happy, right? I was like, finally, I got a job, you know? I went home and I opened my my shitty laptop, right?
Yeah.
And I Googled how to become a waiter. I literally did that.
Yeah.
How to become a waiter. And it was a lot of information, right? I just took whatever made sense for me and whatever I understood. It was in English too. That's how I developed my English.
Could you read English?
Yeah, I can read English.
Yeah.
I knew English, but I wasn't like I used Google Translator a lot.
Wow.
A lot. And this is how I learned, This is how I learned.
That's insane to me, man.
Wow.
It's I've been speaking English my whole life.
Yeah.
I cannot even relate. I can't relate to people who are like, oh yeah, by the way, I had to use Google Translate. I'm like, what is this you're telling me?
English to me
What
was
is this?
Yeah, it's like when someone speaks Chinese to you, it's like I was like
Yeah,
it's like
what
what's
the
going
fuck
on,
is going on right now?
Like I knew the basics. So anyway, go home, Google how to become a waiter, read stuff, write it down, go to the restaurant and do it. So learn, execute. I won't lie to you if I told you I didn't watch TV from the age of 18 to the age of 22.
And that's the whole time you were in New York.
I was just working. So I used to listen to a lot of personal growth stuff, personal development, shit like that. Some of it is like useless and shitty, but at a day it kept me motivated because it was tough, man. Because I used to walk an hour every day in the fucking snow. I'm not used to that kind of weather,
What's the weather like in Egypt?
I live in a city called Alexandria, and it's on the north, right? So it's by the Mediterranean Sea. So the weather is very nice.
Okay.
It's by the coast. So the weather is very nice.
Shouts out to Alexandria.
Yeah. So anyways, how everything changed, right?
You know the Library of Alexandria.
Yeah.
Bro, right?
Yeah. I used to study there.
You used to study
What do
there.
you think about that, bro? That's just bullshit, no?
That was back in the day, man.
Super, I know.
Yeah.
But like how it got burned.
But they built it now. It's very big now. I used to study there when I was in high school. It's a very nice place now.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
World renowned.
Yeah, they renovated everything. It's pretty nice. So how everything changed, right? I'm always motivated, always smiling, working as hard as I can. I always having the American dream. I want to be rich. I want to make more money. Right? And working way more than I'm getting paid, and that was the thing. You give more than you take. I think that was what changed my life, and understanding this. Give more value than whatever you take it. Give. There's a guy called Gary Vee, if you heard of him.
I haven't. Maybe.
He's an entrepreneur. He has a marketing company. But anyways, says give, and then ask. People usually ask before they give.
Yeah.
Or they
That's
give
true.
and they expect to take right away.
Yeah.
So you gotta understand what value means and how can you provide value to someone.
To someone
Either
else. That's true.
Music, restaurant, selling cars, whatever that is. Understand what value means and how can you provide value. And this when things start getting better for you. Be patient, of course. Nothing happens overnight. Anyways, I'm working that restaurant. Start to develop my communication skills. Smile more. My English was basic, but I learned a little bit more. Again, smiling just opened up doors. I swear, my God. Because people used to talk to me. I have no idea what they're saying, but just smiling. You're happy, and I'm happy. It's like, okay, sure. Just nod your head. Sure. Yes to everything kind of thing. Ooh. Anyway, how I started working for the Halal Guys, right?
Yeah, because you were in New York. Now
yeah.
you're all the way in Young Davie.
Yeah.
Other side of the fucking country.
So, quick story about the Halal Guys. There were 3 Egyptian immigrants. They came in. They started this in 1990 as a hot dog cart by Times Square, so in Manhattan, right?
Same halal guys that work
it's
here?
a franchise now.
First franchise.
First one, yes.
It was in New York.
It was in New York. It was a hot dog cart, and they started franchising in 2016.
Wow.
They made a name for themselves. They have
that's
almost
recent.
100 locations all over the world now. They have
Wow.
in Canada, Philippines, Indonesia, South Korea, Philippines. They have I think like 8 stores in Philippines.
Wow.
So they went global,
Yeah.
And it is a food cart. A food cart like Shaz, Shaz?
I don't know it.
The one by the cameras.
Shah's Halal?
The food cart. The one they sell chicken over rice.
Maybe.
Shah's Halal.
I don't know because I'm not Is it a food truck?
Yeah, the food truck.
Oh, yeah.
So imagine this, right? Becoming a big brand.
Yeah.
Right? It is very popular in New York.
Or by Trader Joe's.
Yeah, the one by Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
So it's just
that one. Yeah.
So just a small food cart, right?
Yeah.
They were big in New York. Because New York is expensive, and they used to sell a lot of food for a good price.
Yeah.
You know, it made sense. And it was like in a dynamic location, right? So people line up every single day. Anyways, that's the Halal Guys, right? The founder's son, he's in my age, right?
Yeah.
We had a mutual friend, right? Who used to come to my restaurant. So the founder's son saw me working, and then we became kind of friends, right? He got my number. I barely saw him, you know. It's like we're different levels kind of thing, right? Like I'm poor, broke, they're rich, you know. It's like, okay, and I'm working most of my time. I work like 14 hours a day, right? And I walk to like an hour and a half, average of an hour and a half walking, going to work and coming back from work, right? So like I don't go out, you know, and I work 6 days, sometimes 7 days, you know. And anyways, he saw me, he got my number, and I don't see him again, you know. I barely saw him, but we still have the mutual friend. Anyway, a year later, right? He gave me a call. He's like, "Hey, this is me. Do you remember me?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I do. How have you been?" He's like, "I've been great, thank you. Are you looking for a job?" I was like, "Yes, I am." You know,
you didn't want to work at the restaurant anymore?
Well, it was like a year apart between when I met him and
when he offered you the job.
When he called me, right? So I went to I looked for another couple of jobs. Like I did some other things.
Gotcha.
I work in a bakery, and I work on an actual hot dog cart, and so on and so on. But anyways,
was the pay better at those other places?
A little bit. So from 5 to 8, and then the hot dog cart. This is a funny story about New York hot dog carts, like the hot dog carts, right?
Yeah.
So I had a friend that I met, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to make some real money?" I was like, "Fuck yeah." You know, he's like, "Okay, you're going to work with me. I'm going to rent a hot dog cart, and you're going to work on it, and you take 30%. You're like a business owner." I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm living my American dream.
Yeah.
I'm going to take 30%.
Yeah, percentage instead of a paycheck.
Yeah, I'm a business partner, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. What I need to do is like you go to the commissary or the garage. Someone going to pick you up, drop you off with the cart, right? And you're going to be selling hot dogs. It's really easy. And it is really easy. You grab the bun, the fucking hot dog in it, ketchup and mustard, and done. You don't need skills, right? I mean, I used to talk, smile, so I was a little bit bubbly, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, he was like, but the thing is, you come up with prices. I was like, how come? He was like, come with me. We go to one of his friends. I stand with them for like a couple hours. So I'm watching the guy selling, right? So what they do is they put the hot dog carts in a tourist area, right? And they just come up with numbers. Like I saw him selling one hot dog for $5, one hot dog for $10, a bottle of water for $1. Like if you see a black dude from New York coming to buy a bottle of water, give it him for $1.
Yeah.
If you see like someone from Europe or like a tourist, right? $10 for a water bottle.
Yeah.
I was like, this is stealing, dude. He's like, no, it's not. It's this, and that. I was
That's
like,
crazy.
okay, fuck. Like, I don't have a job right now. Let me do it.
He showed you the finesse.
Yes.
The finesse.
So I did it for one day. And in the middle of the day, I was like, you know what? Fuck, I'm not going to do that. I feel like I'm stealing people's money. I just won't do that. I talked to him. I was like, hey, dude, I left my job for this. Like, I thought, like, 30% or whatever. But I don't think I can do that. It's just not my thing. It's not being honest,
Right.
I think we should have a set price.
Yeah.
We kind of fought, like, we fight. I was like, okay, this is my last week, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go pick up the carts, work there for the whole day. But I'm gonna have a set price and 30% whatever I'm making, whatever you're making, and we're all happy. And then find someone else. Cool. All right. Work for 1 week, barely made any money, of course. I mean, selling hot dogs. Right? I used to sell for like $3, $4. So how many are you gonna sell a day?
Yeah.
And the location that they dropped me off wasn't that dynamic, so not a lot of people around me. So, anyways, I left this job, and then I was home. Same thing, struggling to find another job. And then my rent was due in a week. I didn't have any money. And then I get this phone call. Hey, are you looking for a job? I was like, yes, please.
Yeah.
He was like, okay, go to the car's location. He sent me the address. It was on 6th Avenue, 53rd, right by Times Square. And he's like, go meet the manager. His name is this. Tell him that you're the new worker. And congratulations. I was like, yeah, sure. I was like, how much I'm going to get paid? It was like $9 an hour. I was like,
Nice.
yeah, from 5 to 9, you know?
Yeah.
From $5 to $9.
But that's a big jump.
For me, yes.
It's almost double.
Yeah, the minimum wage was $8 though. But,
That's a, wow, nice.
but again, you have nothing, you know? It's like,
Right,
what's my options?
Wow.
It's like, what else I'm going to do, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes you cannot complain. You just got to suck it up and see how can you make it better.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, why did you leave the restaurant?
Because I didn't like the owner was so mean. Like, dude, I never forget. Like, I think I'm grateful for the lesson. You know what they saying, right? I will forget what people told me, but I will never forget how people made me feel.
Yeah.
Right. So one time, I don't know what I was doing. The guy was so mean. Like the owner was very mean, and I think I did something wrong. I did something wrong, right? Again, I'm new. Like, I don't know a lot. Like I told you, like you should give me some training, you know?
Yeah.
Teach me stuff. Like, I don't expect that I know everything.
Right.
But anyways, I did something wrong and he came to me. He looked at me. He was like, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, well, I'm doing this. He's like, you don't do it like that. You don't know how to do anything, you fucking idiot. Man, it hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts for a couple of reasons, right? You don't want to be insulted. And you cannot stand up for yourself. Okay, what if I say no and lose my job? How the fuck I'm gonna pay rent? I'm on my own. You know what I mean? But I still remember how it made me feel. And I went home and I cried that night. You know?
Yeah.
But the lesson that I learned, I would never in my life treat someone like that because it hurt so bad, man. It hurt so bad. But it made me a better person, I would say. You know? Because it hurts. I wouldn't like for anyone to feel that the way I felt, you know. So that was the lesson. So I'm grateful for it.
Yeah.
But I was trying to find something else because it was so mean, you know. I don't like to be insulted, you know. I was just wanna. But anyways, and I wasn't learning that much.
They weren't teaching that much.
Yeah, but here's the thing: I was the newbie. I was 18. They had other workers working there, and I was way smarter than them. I'm not trying to show up, but I was way smarter than them. Like people. Some customers thought that I was the owner's son or I owned the restaurant because how they felt, how I was treating them, how I cared. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My hospitality. And I think it came from how my mom raised me. You know what I mean? Like kind of super nice. Hey, do you guys want some beer? Do you guys want some water? Mm-hmm. You brought some pizza on your way here. It's hospitality. You know?
But I also ate a lot of their food.
But yeah, I think my mom raised me to be nice, so it kind of helped. So anyways, how things change and start making more money from $5 to like breaking $50,000, $60,000 a year. Traveling a lot. I stayed in Caesar Palace for a week or 2 weeks for free, you know.
Wow.
But anyway, how things change. I get this phone call. I go get the job, $9 an hour. The manager is like, hey, do you have any experience working in a food cart? I was like, not really, but I can work for free for a couple of days if you want. I really don't mind. I can work for free till I learn.
Yeah, so that's a powerful move.
Yeah. He was like,
wow.
yeah. So but they were very nice, honestly. So he was like, no. We're not like that. Right. Just learn. All right, cool. Started. And
nice.
He was like, okay, that's your uniform. Go ahead, start. I was like, awesome. It was 10 a.m. They open at 11 a.m. So they open from 11 a.m. to 5 a.m. the next day, right? I never been there before, right? Like I was like on the other side of the city kind of thing, right?
I'm not from New York, but what area of New York was
I used to live in Queens,
yeah.
But the car's in Manhattan. Manhattan, where's the Wall Street?
Yeah.
Wall Street, the big companies. Yeah, you know. Times Square, the
busiest, most.
Yeah, the
is
big
it a wealthier
streets.
area?
Yeah. Like the rent there is so fucking expensive.
Yeah, and people are obviously up until 5 a.m. there.
Yeah, nightclubs and shit like that. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Cab drivers, like it's literally the city that never sleeps.
Yeah.
It is that. public transportation is 24 hours, you know? So anyways, start working, start at 10 a.m. I never been there. I heard of them, but like I didn't knew that they were that popular, right? So anyways, start. I see like they bring in a lot of meat. I was like, who the fuck gonna eat all of that meat? You know, like that's gonna be a waste. Like what's going on here? You know, that was from 10 to 11, right? And then 12 noon hits and people start lining up. I was like, what the fuck? Where these people are coming from? And my shift started at 10, finished at 5 or 6, right? And during the whole shift, didn't stop.
Oh, that's insane.
If you Google some pictures of the halal guys, you will see a big ass line. A big ass line. I was getting tired.
And were you in a food truck?
I was in the food truck cutting.
Was it hot in there?
It was fucking hot. There's no
It's
AC.
a workout.
That's insane.
There is no AC.
From 10, what was it, 10 a.m. to 5 a.m. or something?
to 5 p.m.
Wow.
My shift, but the cards, there was like 2 shifts, right?
Yeah.
The morning shift and the night shift, right?
Yeah, that's too.
Yeah, it was from 10 to 7.
You know what that reminds me of is In-N-Out. I always see them in there.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
a small space. It's almost a food truck already, but it's not
It's
New
a
York.
restaurant. But this one is a food truck, and there is no AC for workers. And when it's snowing and fucking cold, suck it up.
Ooh,
You know,
it
you
snows
in the
out
street, you're on the street for 10 hours.
there. Oof.
But
That's a fucking mission.
it worked. They used to pay good. That's why. Because a lot of people used to leave. They couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
Chopping the meat and cooking that much meat. Let me tell you how much chicken I used to cook a day in my shift.
Bro, let me show me.
It
Show
was
me.
30 pan, but each pan is 30.
That's crazy.
900
the
pounds.
beginning of Halal Guy. The breakdown of it, bro.
I could picture
This is
you
like the
guys.
conception.
I'm not kidding when I tell you I used to cook average of, let's see, I think around 500 pounds of chicken by myself every shift,
That's
or maybe
fucking
more.
crazy, bro.
I'm not lying.
I mean, that's
Google
insane.
Google the halal guys right now. Google the halal guys, and you will see how crazy it is.
bro.
You're like the
so
halal guy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking.
In the morning, I was like, who the fuck gonna eat that food? In the afternoon, I was like, do you guys have enough food for that people? You know what I mean? I started getting tired. It's like, I never had that much experience, like that much work, you know?
That's like, that might be on a, you might be able to compare that to the amount of meat that like one of our local grocery stores goes through. Like a small grocery store, a small meat market in Davis, you guys might have gone through more meat than them.
Yeah,
in a day.
I bet. And they had 3 carts on like 3 different blocks right next to each other, like 3 streets.
They made money.
They made hella money. They made hella money.
Yeah, they made hella money.
That food truck grind is
That's always
undeniable.
something I wanted to start, a food truck like Davis, bro.
Yeah. There are a lot that seem to be successful here.
It's a very good business, very profitable.
Oh,
It's very profitable.
If you have the right people, you have the right
Connected,
meets,
if you're
everything's up to
connected,
scale.
I mean, you don't need to be connected.
Spec.
Just get a permit, and
Yeah. But like, it's better if you're connected. People come to you and they're like, oh,
Yeah, of
this
course,
food,"
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Yeah, it's nice.
it's
and college students want cheap food anyway.
Yeah.
I always felt that they'd be better at colleges, but New York would be even better
Yeah.
than a fucking college.
You can charge them an extra
no,
amount.
it wasn't that expensive though. It was like $7 for a big ass platter. So that's a
$7,
very good
that's
deal.
good.
Very good deal.
That's a good deal.
That's why it sold out every time, right?
Yeah.
Good ass deal.
As they're since 1990. They're popular since 1990. But anyways, right? Anyways, I'm working. I'm the nice dude. I don't make a lot of problems. I'm understanding. I read personal growth, personal development books, which helped a lot. Dealing with people, I think, is the hardest thing ever. I think this is what helped me a lot because I didn't have a lot of experiences, but people like me. Anyways, 2016, you start franchising, right? So I've been with the company for like I think almost 9 months, and they start franchising, and I get promoted out of almost 300 employees they have in the company. So they have 2 restaurants in New York, 4 food carts, I think 1 or 2 commissaries, and so almost around.
What is a commissary?
Commissary, it's a place that prep food for the carts. So like they make the rice, they prep the salads, you know.
Yeah.
So how it works there, right? So there's the 3 food carts, and there's a big ass truck. It's Mercedes, by the way. It's a big Mercedes, right? It has like a big fridge. So this is where they keep this is where they keep the cold stuff. And there's like 3 vans. It has the
all stacked
combo,
up, bro.
right? It has the hot stuff. And there is some there's like a fourth car by all of them that keep that cook the chicken fresh.
Wow.
And then transfer it cooked, and then we chop it on the grill, and then we start serving.
That's a fucking.
So the little cart has a steam table, has a big grill, has a warmer.
Wow.
It's a good business. But anyways, that's what the commissary is, right?
Okay, it's the prep side of it.
Yeah. It's like a catering kitchen kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they wash the carts there. They do the rest of their business. They keep their drinks and all that, you know. It's like a storage as well, you know. A catering kitchen. You can call it catering kitchen. Anyways, 2016, they start franchising. Out of 300 employees they have, it's me and another 5 get promoted. So I used to cook good. Like I knew their concept. I was a nice guy, so my manager liked me. So he offered me the promotion kind of thing. Right. He was like, "You're gonna become a trainer." I was like, "Wonderful." I have no idea what that means. You know, train people to do what?
Yeah.
Cook. Okay, all right, cool. So I get promoted from the cart to the restaurant, and my job was a trainer, teach people how to cook. So basically, they start franchising. You know what franchise is, right? Yeah.
Just explain it anyway. But yeah.
Okay, so franchising, right? Let's say let's say the Halal Guys, right? They want to start franchising. So you or Khan, right? Khan likes food and have some money, and I want to open up a restaurant, but I want to open up a big name, like someone that people actually know, you know?
Right. So that maybe he could sell more.
Yeah.
If people already recognize it.
Yeah, exactly. So Khan go to the Halal Guys and be like, "Hey, I want to invest my money with you." They were like, "Okay, there is some terms. You need to open up at least 5 restaurants, 1 restaurant a year."
It's a contract.
Yeah. And we're gonna take 7% of your gross.
Wow.
Right? Okay. Whatever money you're making, we're gonna take 7% of it. And each new store, you're gonna pay us $40,000. It's your fee to use my name. And we will teach you and show you how to operate it. Right?
Yeah.
So a lot
and the benefit is he doesn't have to start from scratch with a restaurant business.
Like the name is there already.
If it's a successful name,
it's like McDonald's.
Yeah.
Right? It's like
and he
McDonald's.
has guaranteed customers.
Yeah. It was a new brand too, you know. It was popular, but not that popular, you know. So, anyways, my job was when a franchisee buy a franchise from them, he hired a director of operation, general managers, right? Who he gonna start his first restaurant with them,
yeah,
right, and then second, and then third, and then fourth, and then fifth, right? So my job was when the franchisee hired these people, general managers, director of operations, or assistant managers. They used to send them to New York since the concept was new, so they had to come to New York for 2-3 weeks to experience it, so we can show them how everything started, how to do everything, how to operate, right? But the only thing I knew back in the day was to cook. I knew how to cook. So, long story short, I learned a lot. So again, I used to train managers to cook, but during the 2 weeks, right? So I used to meet like a team of 5 every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks. So almost within a year, sometimes it's 7, sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's every 2 weeks. But anyway, the point is, within 1 year, I trained almost 100 people. Wow. Of managers, general manager, director of operation, assistant managers. Wow, so every time I teach him, right? And then we have a conversation, or I ask him for a dinner. Hey, can you teach me this? Or what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Getting a lot of I used to talk a lot, right? So getting a lot of experiences from them. Yeah. For real. So within 1 year, I was like, shit, I know a lot of stuff. Yeah. I know a lot of stuff.
And you're connected with head honchos all over the country.
Yes, and a lot of people offered me a job, you know. The funny story, my boss, I trained him 4 years ago. Right? I trained him how to cook. And then we made this connection. He's a nice dude. I love him, right? Tarek, you're a nice guy. You're good. You know what you're doing. Let's keep in touch. And then 4 years later, hey, do you have a spot for me? Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Come here, you know.
These people,
We'll take care of
almost, it
everything.
sounds like everyone who you train was in a position to hire in the future. There are people who are higher up in the company.
My value was high because it was a new brand and a few people knew how to work in it.
Right.
So my value was very high, even though I didn't have a lot of experience.
Right.
I would say I was kind of lucky.
Yeah.
You know? But anyways, I get promoted one more time, and then I open up stores. So right now they send me to states. So I went to San Francisco, San Jose, Austin, New Orleans, right? Las Vegas. This one I stayed
For training?
Yeah. So every time a franchisee want to open up his first store, they send me to train a team of 50.
Yes.
Right?
That's
A team of 50. So I help him to operate the first week, right? So I go up in the morning, teach him how to cook, teach him how to prep, how to be good at customer service and all those stuff. I didn't knew much, but I knew what I knew. Again,
Right.
smiling, dude. Just smile. For real.
Yeah.
For real. Because fast food restaurant, right? As a customer, it literally takes you like 1 or 2 minutes. So it's a 1 minute interaction. So you don't need to say your life story. Just smile.
Yeah.
You know, have a good impression, right? And that's it. That's it. So, anyways, a team of 50, right? So I open up 10 stores, right? And again, as the days goes by, I'm meeting new people and I'm learning more. And same thing, dude. Google everything. Start learning about profit and loss, how to run a restaurant. Start reading more about leadership, people behavior, psychology, how to manage people. And of course I keep doing a lot of mistakes, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that.
Someone came? Who's that?
Carl.
What's up, Carl? Come join the podcast, Carl. We're gonna talk about branding and marketing right now.
Oh, get it, Ryan.
Branding and marketing.
Guys, the bug killer.
Connor's trying to start a
I've
franchise.
been killing bugs.
Oh, Carl got some beer.
Oh, wow.
One's for you.
What do you want? Thank you, bro. I'll take one. Thank you. Cheers. Oh,
Are you done with?
I got the Costco plug.
Oh,
Shit.
shit.
Are you finished with your homework?
Yeah.
I just wrote.
Look what Carl's wearing. It's a Halal Guy shit.
Hey,
Oh, wow.
Represent.
I could barely see it, but yeah, Halal Guy. Yes, I do.
Have you had this one?
Thank you so much.
This shit's fire.
Appreciate it, bro.
Oh, you haven't had Lagunitas? This shit's fire.
Lagunitas
This is from SF.
It's from
No, this is not SF. This is not SF. This is
Speakeasies.
SF. This is from
You didn't say Lagunitas though. It's not Lagunitas.
Yeah, it is.
That is Lagunitas. Like
That shit's fire though.
Oh, you brought different beers. Yeah. How come I didn't notice it?
Yeah, some are half as tall as the others.
This is not what's
I didn't notice it.
This
Yeah.
Anyhow.
red chair. Yeah, red chair is like one of my favorite beers.
Wow.
It's the only one that
That
I like
shit-
have a shirt for.
It's a very dope night. Sharing life stories.
Yeah, man.
Thank y'all for
That's it.
being here. This is dope.
We actually, this might be a good time to wrap this particular thing up. But okay, so you're training people.
Yeah, training and then get more experience and then decided to settle down, move to Houston to run my first restaurant. And then getting more experience and then moving here. So that's the story from $5 an hour to breaking $56,000 a year.
Yeah.
From someone who didn't speak English, didn't have a lot of restaurant experience.
Hold on, let's go to the running the restaurant in Houston.
Yes.
Okay, so you're training people. How do you end up in a position where you are running a restaurant?
Okay, so being
Are you a
trainer-
franchisee?
Yeah. What happened?
Are you somebody who paid the Halal guys to run their franchise? Or are you
I
an
didn't pay
employee?
anyone. I get paid.
Oh, yeah.
But it was same thing. It was with a franchisee, right?
Yeah.
I trained them as well. They offered the job. I was like, fuck yeah, I'll take it. you know?
Gotcha. And that's like a general manager?
General manager. It was my first time being general manager.
Yeah.
Like, again, I was from a cook to a trainer to a general manager.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, let me open this thing. Sorry, guys.
Cheers, Carl. My favorite person in the world.
What?
And guy was like, "No, I'm your favorite."
So, anyways, he offered me. I was like, "Fuck yeah, I want to get this experience." They don't deduct a lot of taxes from you in Texas.
I've heard.
So it was a good thing. New York, they take a lot of tax. New York and California, it's a lot.
It's bad. It's bad to own a business or run a business, I've heard.
Yeah. So it was like, okay, you know what? I just wanna see how is it like actually running a restaurant, being on my own.
Yeah.
You know, being like I'm kind of like the boss. Like there's no one behind me to blame. You know what I mean, when something happened, when shit hit the fan. Stayed in Houston for 9 months. Good experience, and then moved to here.
Why did you come here? Because it seems like a weird place to be.
Not really. So I lived in New York. I've been to a couple states, right? People here are nice. I won't lie. If you Davis specifically instead of San Francisco or San Jose or Sacramento. Well, that was my boss territory.
Gotcha.
Right. So he's not the same franchisee in San Francisco. Right. So he has some of the Bay Area and he has Sacramento and Davis. Yeah. So I was supposed to run Davis store, and the 2 stores that they're gonna open in Sacramento. We're gonna open one in Midtown and one in Elk Grove. I was supposed to run all of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, things didn't go as planned. We opened up more stores in the Bay Area because it made more sense.
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense, man. I feel like this would be a good time to be in the food business. Yeah. In the Bay Area, population is growing. People have a lot of money.
They do. So we have Sunnyvale, San Jose, San Mateo, Santa Clara is coming soon, hopefully.
Yeah, I think I saw one near. I went to community college in Cupertino.
Oh yeah.
I think there's one in Cupertino, a couple of them, which is insane.
Yeah.
The halal guys.
So anyway, let's talk about branding.
Let me start off by saying this, okay?
Go ahead.
In the long term, I'm interested in becoming decent at branding, if not good.
Okay.
But in the short term, I always get in my own way because I'm far more interested in doing things I want to do than doing things that make sense from a branding perspective.
I mean,
so I always say like, in 3 years I'll be good at branding. But I think I was saying that 3 years ago.
Okay, let's start with this. Define branding, right?
Okay. What I mean is that there's a clear connection between a product or a service and its symbolic representation.
Mm-hmm. Okay, wonderful. What do you like to do?
Too many things. I like to do a lot of things.
Pick a thing, right?
Create.
Create what? You gotta be specific. Like, what is it? Like,
create things that, and this is why it's bad. This is the number one reason why the branding is bad. I like to create things that make sense.
Like what? Okay, here's the deal. Right? The point
I'll be good in 3 years. That's what I'm saying.
But you need to be specific, right? Okay. Anything you want to create, anything.
Okay, let me I think I have a way of saying it. I like to do academic things outside of an academic environment.
Okay.
So that is actually the closest thing that I have right now to a brand.
I see.
Is I'm the guy that does the academic things outside of the academic environment.
Okay. The point of the question is,
huh?
Do you have a YouTube channel?
No.
That's a good way to start a brand for something like that.
I know. That's the thing. Yeah, it would be. It would be. Well, I probably will do that within the next 3 years. I'll probably be doing that.
You should. Up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Should start
a lot.
I mean, I have started a lot though. I have like 3 years of music, 3 years of podcasts, a couple years of papers, like essays. But there's something about all of them that it's like it takes 4 years to make the last 3 years make sense.
Yeah.
Because I have to. Basically, my problem is there's a huge, like, if you're doing something that's weird, then you can't just do it. You have to do it and explain what you're doing. So it's best if you can explain what you're doing before you do it. But creatively, that doesn't usually work out. Usually you don't even know what you're about to do.
That's true.
So it's better to do it after, but then doing it after might be too late.
Yeah.
So you got to figure out a way, like a lot of what I've done, kind of like what I read you off some stuff before we started. It took me 3 years to write that stuff.
Yeah.
So for the first 3 years, I can't even tell the person that's sitting with me this is what's going to happen because I don't know what's going to happen. So now that I know what's going to happen, now I can tell you.
Yeah.
And you can have a coherent experience. Like this is exactly what he said would happen.
Yeah. You know what I
But
learned?
I got to experiment first, and that's why I'm so bad at branding.
Speaking of experiment, right? You know what I learned is you don't need to reinvent the wheel, right? So
100%. And that's what I would argue is the biggest thing of getting in my own way.
yeah, it's
that everything I do, I will always reinvent the wheel.
yeah.
Even if it exists, I'll redo it. If it doesn't exist, I'll be the first one to do it. But either way, I'm always going to do it from scratch, and that's bad for branding.
It's my personal opinion, right? It's not only bad for branding; it's bad for you. Because here's the thing, right? You wanna get there. You said in 3 years, right?
Yeah,
So you don't want to get there in 10 years,
that's
right?
Yeah.
So what you do is you model people, modeling, right? For example, let's talk about fitness, right? Fitness. I'm a fat ass, right? And I want to lose weight, right? I can do it from
Are you
scratch.
saying that's true right now?
No, I just say give it an example. Okay, my story with fitness was I was skinny as fuck, right? Like, I was super skinny.
I can relate to that, man.
My backbones without me bending my back, kind of thing. You know, like my head was bigger than my body.
Yeah.
I was that skinny. You know.
Yeah.
Anyways, you had two options, right? You had two options. I had two options. I can start from scratch, right? And try to figure out how to gain weight on my own.
Yeah.
Or I can model someone.
Who's already done what
I can
you've
look
done.
for someone who was super skinny and now he's very fit and go ask him, hey, help me out, man. What did you do to gain weight that fast? What did you do to become so muscular that fast?
Yeah.
Oh, I used to work out 5 days a week. That was my routine. That's what I ate. And that's what I did. Awesome, right? I'm gonna do the exactly same thing. Fuck. I get the exact same results.
Yeah.
Why do I have to reinvent the wheel? Why I have to figure it out on my own? So model people, and then invent, create.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's a good thing. The reason I was asking you to be specific is brand. It's all about, honestly, money's not everything, but you want to be able to pay your bills, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to have a shitty job, right? Are we smoking? Are we smoking anything?
No, I'm making shrooms.
Shrooms? Is that?
Oh, yeah?
No, I don't want to get high, man. I'm sorry.
You want tobacco?
Yeah, tobacco. I'm down for tobacco.
You're down for tobacco?
Yeah,
Straight
but
tobacco.
Straight tobacco, no weed.
Okay, I'm down. I got you, bro.
You wanna? Huh?
That's what I've been smoking. That's why I've been blowing out the window because I didn't want the smell to, travel this way.
Yeah, but
The tobacco
it's
It
cool, man.
could trigger some lungs. That's why.
Oh yeah, no, it's cool, man. Let's smoke some tobacco. But anyways,
This is weed though now, but let's smoke
Yeah.
some tobacco.
let's do it.
Yeah.
So branding, right? Knowing what you're actually trying to create, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to be stuck in a shitty job. You want to make money. You want to pay your bills, buy what you want, live your American dream, right? At the same time, do whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are lucky enough to make money from the things that they like to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not. And if it's not, it takes them more time. For example, let's say I like fitness, right? I want to become a personal trainer. I am a personal trainer, but I want to have an online business.
Yeah.
Like I want to make 6 figures. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I can. Yeah, I know.
You know, you always see that motherfucker on YouTube, the same white guy with the tats. He's always
I think I know.
talking about the diet and why you're eating wrong and what each body type needs this.
Yeah, sometimes they
bro.
become, I know which one. I think I know which one.
You know which one I'm talking about?
Some of those guys are really good at branding.
They're good at marketing.
Yeah, they're
Good at marketing,
That
yeah.
is definitely making a comfortable living because I've seen it time and time.
You
again
can make
with
a hell of
different
money.
ads. Oh, yeah.
You know what's the thing about online business? Like for example, in personal training, how you make money is by giving programs. That's a personal trainer job. You're not a physical therapist. therapist,
And
right?
there are recordings of you.
It's
Pre-recorded. Sex.
yeah. But how we make money is tell people what to do. It's like, hey, I want to gain weight. I was like, okay, this is a workout program, and this is how many calories you need to eat, and this is why you need to eat. Boom, $150 for my advice for a 3-month program. The good thing about it is you can literally sell for 1 million people within a day or two.
Right.
You can make $1 million in a day or two.
Right. 100%.
But again, it comes back to your branding and marketing. Because you don't need a store. You don't need to hire anyone to sell it.
Right.
Literally everything is online.
Yeah.
Right.
It's crazy, you know?
It is crazy. That's just outrageous.
So, again, coming back to the same example, branding. So, right now I have the restaurant job, right? Do I like it? Yeah, I do. But would I rather be making the money that I'm making now, or I want to hit like 6 figures or $200,000 a year just doing the fitness? Because this is the only thing that I like, you know? I love it more. So, this is the hard way kind of thing. I mean, this is the more realistic way, and sometimes you're just not lucky enough, right? Which is cool. This is life. So in my case, I have to work, let's say, from 9 to 5, right? From 9 to 5 in the restaurant, and from 5 to 10, right? Or from 5 to 12 a.m. At home, trying to develop myself, trying to create a content, make a website, and so I'd start treating 1 or 2 clients, brand, like have a big brand, right? So people can know you and people can trust you and people can buy from you and so on and so on. So it's gonna take you a couple of years. But what if instead of from 9 to 5 the restaurant and then from 5 to 10 my side hustle? What if my side hustle was from 9 to 12 a.m.?
Right.
You would go there more faster.
Yeah.
Right? And instead of investing 20 hours a week, I would be investing like 50, 60 hours a week.
Right.
In this thing. Instead of getting there within 3 years, I can get there within 1 year. You getting my point? Sometimes you're lucky enough. Let's say that you're a student. All right, awesome. I don't need to care about bills. I don't need to care about shit. I have parents. Cool, all right. Why the fuck not? Let them help me. They've been helping me all my life. Help me 2 more years, you know?
Yeah.
And then you get there faster. But again, you need to know what exactly that you want.
Yeah.
So branding or making money, it's 2 things. Either product or service. Right? Product or service. So the personal training thing, right? This is service.
Yeah.
Right? A restaurant is product. I'm selling you food. So how a restaurant works, right? Or most retail business. This is how it works, right? I buy the food from a vendor. Let's say I buy this beer, right? Let's say this is how Costco made money on the beer. They didn't invent the beer. They didn't create it. They didn't make it, right? They bought it from somewhere else and they saved it in the store. And then car is like, hey, I want some beer, you know?
Yeah.
And then car get it from them. So me as a Costco, right? I bought the beer for like $1. I sold it for a car for like $2-3, right? So this is the retail store. Same thing with restaurants. I buy food from vendors, right? The chicken, the salad, the rice, whatever. I hire some people to get to the final product, right? And then I sell it, right?
Yeah.
This is a product, and this is how you make money in retail. For a service, right? You want to do academic creation stuff, right?
Which could mean
So
a large number of things.
Yeah. So you gotta. That's what I'm saying. You gotta decide what is it.
Well,
exactly
it's almost like the analogy they make.
You don't have
for,
like. Can you roll it like as a cigarettes? You don't have the.
Oh, I don't have the papers. But Rama can come through right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call her. She said, "Okay, yalla."
This is a part of what I mean is that there is no model for a lot of new things. So, like a YouTuber, there was no model for that in 1950.
Yeah.
So, for how they would actually make money as a YouTuber, and I think what I have in mind is pretty close to the idea of a YouTuber, like an extended thing. You know, that it's a business built around some services, essentially. So
Yeah.
I almost think of it like in its height, it'll be similar to a television show where there's a main idea, but there's also a writer's room.
Yeah.
And the writers create episodes based off of the main idea. Now, the creator doesn't necessarily need to be a writer. The creator just needs to be someone who comes up with the blueprint, the initial script.
I'll show you.
And then from there, the writing can continue for several seasons as long as it's picked up. Well, what I imagine is 10 of those. Like I think the future of the type of brand that I'm thinking of could involve having the equivalent of a writer's room for multiple services. So let's say a podcast, for instance, is one service, and a second one is music production, and a third is blogging or writing of some sort. I can imagine that at its height, a future brand could have blogs that aren't written by the creator, podcasts that aren't even hosted by the creator, and music that isn't even connected to the creator. Because instead, you just create teams of people that do those things.
That's exactly what branding is.
Yeah, so it's like your philosophy is the thing.
Yeah.
But the actual work could be done by anyone.
Exactly. That's the same thing with the restaurant business, right? Let's say
very similar to the halal
business. If I'm the owner, I don't need to cook. I don't need to.
You don't need to cook. You just need to be able to teach other people how to cook to your standards.
That's the manager. But as an owner, I just put money down, right?
Yeah.
Hire someone to do it. Again, I don't cook. I don't hire. I don't do a lot of stuff. I monitor it, but I don't create. I'm gonna still make money.
Yeah,
that's a different aspect.
So one example of this is like I like hosting podcasts, and there's a specific way of doing audio editing that's easily exportable.
Yeah.
The next layer of that is you can hire me to do your audio editing, but the real layer that I'm interested in is I just teach 1,000 people how to do my audio editing. Hire them, but pay my brand.
Exactly.
So you can have my version of editing, but I have nothing to do with it. I just gave the blueprint for how to do it.
Exactly.
Because ultimately it's just bits in a computer. It doesn't even have anything to do with me. The only thing that has something to do with me is it's similar to, like this happens in hip hop a lot, but like you hear a Pharrell beat and you know it's a Pharrell beat because the way he put it together is a particular way. You hear a Kanye beat. Yeah. Oh, he samples and he does this. You hear a Travis Scott thing. Oh, it's done in this way. However, anyone can do it in that way.
That's true.
All he has to do is export that information to the next person. And then the same could be true for even writing. You could say, hey, I want to write a paper about free will and pizza. So I just want to tell someone, these are my rough ideas. Okay, but go write it. Like this is the blueprint. I write the papers the same way every time. Or what you're gonna what you saw here is on my Instagram is the most important question in the universe. One of my friends said, why not have a card game? Yeah. Why not have a show where you just do the most important question in the universe? It's good by itself. You don't even need the podcast.
Exactly.
It's more interesting than the podcast.
Yeah.
But to me, the next layer of it is to have other people do the most important question in the universe that have nothing to do with me.
Exactly. Yeah.
Have some random, but they're referencing me and somehow make money off of it. Mm-hmm. Like if you want to do it, you have to pay some small amount, some small fee or something.
Yeah.
Or like you get a patent, which is completely different from actually building things. It's just saying who has the right to build something.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking of is closer to like a very heavy intellectual property thing. And it's great. But my point is I don't know if there's a blueprint for anything like that.
I see.
Except just getting a bunch of lawyers, just having enough money.
Comes, I think this is when you got to create the blueprint.
Yeah, you got to create exactly. Sometimes you have to create the blueprint, but I think the rough blueprint is being financially stable enough to have at least one lawyer on the team.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, yeah, okay, like do whatever you want, but you should be able to have at least one lawyer around the clock to actually implement some of these ideas, because you can't do any of them.
I would say this is later on, but start small as you start.
Yeah, starting small is just getting stuff done. Honestly, starting small is the connection between a style and me.
Yeah,
that's the basic unit of it all. So the basic unit of, okay, you want to write papers. He writes papers in this way every time. We know it's his without even reading who wrote it.
Yeah.
You want to do music. He does music in this way every time. You want to do podcasts. He does podcasts in this way every time. It's obvious whose it is. It's obvious what's going to happen. It's obvious what the structure is. You want to do, I I don't know what else is left. Oh, I also do graphic art, and I do it the same way every time. It involves a lot of circles. That's the big giveaway. If you see a bunch of circles in it, then that's probably me.
If you had to pick one thing, just one thing out of all the things that you do, what it would be? Like one thing.
Podcast. Yeah, because all of them could easily be snuck in. You could just play music on it. You can have art as the cover art. That's the deepest. It involves writing. I write before I do.
What is your favorite podcast? Which one that you listen to the most?
Oh, as a fan?
Yeah.
Sam Harris.
Sam Harris?
Yeah. And I know he's a hated person, but, you know, to me, he upholds the kind of intellectual tradition in a respectable way.
I like Joe Rogan a lot.
Yeah, I like him too. He's in the top 10 for sure.
Yeah.
Rogan is in the top 10. I mean, but I'm a little bit of, I feel like I listened to a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, I initially liked Rogan, but I've parsed why I liked it. Mm-hmm. And now I have a bunch of different ones that I like because they're better at one of the things that he does.
I see.
But he's good at a lot of things.
Yeah, he is.
He actually is good at more than one thing. And that's why I think it's so good.
Martial arts.
Yeah. He's legitimate in martial arts too. He's not like a fan as much as he is like an actual practitioner, and he studies the art form. So there's certain things where it's like he's.
What was his process to becoming like well known?
I mean, the way it seems is, I think he says it was mostly accidental, but I think a big part of it is his network was already famous. Mm-hmm. If you're a headlining comedian, then all of your friends are also.
And he did, I think, a reality show back in the day.
He did a huge. Oh yeah, he did.
He did a reality show, and
not sure.
And he had the accent that he was gonna hit a dude. It's good. He was. I think he punched a dude in the face.
Fear Factor.
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he did a couple. He was a host for a couple TV shows, I think.
Yeah. So the thing about it is, what I would add on to that is that he's already famous, but also it's really easy for him to get other famous people on because his network is famous. So I skipped over the fact that he's famous. But to me, the biggest thing is if all of your friends are also famous, then you can also leverage
How did he get to that point?
He was already a comedian, and he was already on TV shows. He was.
I mean, when he was born, he wasn't a comedian.
No. I mean, he was doing martial arts.
He was doing a lot of shit before the podcast. So when you say, how did he get the...
Well, I'm not talking about the podcast. I'm just talking about generally.
He started martial arts.
He was a martial arts star, then he became a comedian.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he did a couple of reality shows, you know. It's like how McGregor, you know, just started like as a... McGregor.
Yeah, so you just need a way to become famous, really, is the key. Like, the more people that see your stuff, the more valuable... The more people that know about your brand, the more valuable it is. So.
That's true. It's just that it's a whole different ball game if you're already famous before you start.
We're talking about right now. His broadcast is from the top 10. Mm-hmm.
As a fan. My favorite one of all time is, I don't even think it's online anymore, but it was this. There was some story about a graffiti artist who worked for Facebook. He painted their Facebook.
I know exactly.
Yeah, David Cho. Yeah. His was my favorite. It was called DVD ASA, and it was just the grimiest podcast possible, and it was super, super intimate too, to the point where it was like he's a graffiti guy, so that's already kind of edgy. But his co-host was a porn star, and then it's very there's a lot of sex stuff in it.
Interesting.
Yeah,
let's talk about it.
Okay, so one of the episodes I loved that I felt like was super intimate was he brought in some girl that he had recently had sex with, and they discussed some things related to that. But it was it seemed really raw. I don't know how real anything is, but it seemed like a real situation that really happened because he's got a lot of mental health things going on in his life, and one of them is he's a sex addict. And he'll describe some of what that means for him. But also, he's rich. So he's also in a demographic where it's easier to have sex than it has been at other times in his life. So there's just a lot of like one-off encounters apparently that he would have that I enjoyed listening to. But then what was cool about that episode was that this was somebody that was like on the other side of that. You know, like, oh, I just met some chick, you know, randomly, and
why do you think it's hard for men to have sex and it's easy for women to have sex?
I don't know. I don't actually know. I just think it's a matter of desire. I think that a lot of women, most of the time, it's more of a mood thing. It's not an all the time thing. Whereas for a lot of guys, they just feel like all the time they're interested. So I think it's more of a supply and demand thing.
What is that?
That looks like an actual ice cube.
It's whiskey.
Okay, it is now time for the most important question in the universe.
Question in the universe.
Fight or flight?
Fight or flight? Interesting.
Fight.
Fight.
That's right. Thanks for your time.
Chef set?
Hey, strawberry, blueberry. One berry, two berry. That's a snack, blackberry. Hey, do I really want the stem or the cherry? Bucket naked doing mathematics. Hey, dynamic, I don't mind static. Hey, can't deny it, I might die tonight. Hey, every rainbow's just white light. Keep my toppings on topper. Helicopter. Draw the whole lot. Cartographer. Think about dots. Philosopher. Check the bars with a barometer. Not a day without chefing. That's negligence. Don't trust what I say. Check the evidence. It all depends on the mold you were shaped in. What you make from the leaves that you rake in. Either you get it or you don't. Either it's burnt bread or it's toast. Either a wavelength or a note. Either a joke or a real quote. Either use it or lose your vote. Strawberry, blueberry. One berry, two berry. That's a snack, blackberry. Hey, do I really want the stem or the cherry? Not the most musical, more Dr. Seussical. All my work's useless, I keep my dick usable. I'm a nuisance, the proof's in the juices. Finish all your trig and your sig, big Newtons. She smoked that estrogen and progesterone. Threw it in the vape, took it to the dome. Fuck it, I might hit the testosterone. Chef's cut, dopamine with some melatonin. I can't tame it if it's too tame. I can't name it, it's a new name. Left, right when the life came. Every night play the dice game. Draw the line through the white plains. Is it mean if I don't mean it? What's a fucking mean to a deviant? And not to diss you, but you stop chefing. I don't miss you, I have no tissue. Strawberry, blueberry. One berry, two berry. That's a snack, blackberry. Hey, do I really want the stem or the cherry? I keep it one more than 1,000. I see these sheep charged up, keep it rounded. Somebody show these where the pound is. I think the kitchen's getting crowded. Same place, different state. Same shit the chefs love, the sheep hate. Keep my beats in a briefcase. Never cheap with the beefsteak. Nothing free in that sweepstake. I think they're locked into the optics. I'm like the opposite, I'm like their complement. I'd rather say a lot with a little. Sold the violin, got a fiddle. If you don't experiment, you don't walk. You wanna talk? Are you really about the chalk? Then please shut the fuck up. Enough is enough. Cheap ass arguments, get your tongue cut. Strawberry, blueberry. One berry, two berry. That's a snack, blackberry. Hey, do I really want the stem or the cherry?